So, following up with my Star Wars video that I made a couple years back, I had no idea that it would get quite the reaction that it got. It's proving to be uh, the most popular video I've ever made, which is very strange. It's basically just me ranting in front of a Star Wars logo for 30 minutes or something. I don't even know. But, as predicted, the little fanboys came out, and one made it a point because I set up these videos, these Star Wars videos, and anything of a sensitive subject, I set it up to um, filter the comments. I have to approve all comments because I don't want people filling up my videos with garbage. And I had one fanboy in particular who decided that it would be, since he couldn't post his nasty comments on my Star Wars video, he would go through all of my other videos and post and just basically troll. It's like, so what point have you proven exactly? That I was right all along? That you're a namby-pamby little crying baby-ass wuss? I mean, boo-hoo. I insulted Star Wars. I didn't even really insult Star Wars. I just insulted the fans. I love Star Wars, really. I mean, I went and watched Episode 7, which was phenomenal. I found Kylo Ren to be one of the ugliest Sith Lords. Why is it that all Sith Lords are ugly as a dirt nap? Sincerely. Like, you could figure, like, Palpatine had his face melted, and Vader had his face melted, and Kylo Ren did not have his face melted, but he's got a nose that's big enough to land an X-Wing on it. So he's just kind of following in that grand tradition of ugly Sith Lords. And I don't even know if you consider him a Sith Lord. He's like a wannabe Sith Lord. It's like, oh, Grandpa, boo-hoo, I've had such a rough life. It's like, oh, here we go. Another little emo kid. Oh, in the grand tradition of Anakin Skywalker. Apple didn't fall far from that whiny ass tree. Oh boy, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to stare at your helmet and cry over how unfair my life has been, Well, it may come as a surprise to you, Kylo Ren, but life isn't fair. As Snape once said. Yeah, just Harry Potter. Um, Life isn't fair, and he's going to sit there and look at this charred helmet, and then he's. I really don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, but I mean, he makes a total ass of himself to the entire film, and he just didn't impress me. He was like the prequel Anakin Skywalker all over again, and I really didn't like Anakin Skywalker. I mean, you figure they started out with Jake Lloyd as 9-year-old Anakin, and he was the worst actor I think I've ever seen. Maybe not the worst, but definitely one of the worst child actors. Um, his previous film credits include that Schwarzenegger film, Jingle All the Way. Schwarzenegger and Sinbad fighting over a doll. Give me dolly. And here's Jake Lloyd, shitting all over the script with his terrible acting. So that's like George Lucas is like, hey, you know what? Let's bring him in to be Anakin Skywalker. Like, what? What in the hell is wrong with you? Like of all the amazing child actors that they had in the early '90s or the late '90s that they could have used at that time, they got Jake Lloyd. I mean, 1999. You figure this was right around the time that The Sixth Sense was taking off. They were actually in theaters at the same time. I mean, they might have been able to get Haley Joel Osment, who would have been a far better choice for Anakin Skywalker than that pathetic little Jake Lloyd. And then, of course, then we got Hayden Christensen, who just, oh my God, this guy, like he was so emo, I expected him to start cutting his wrists, but no, instead he just broke every rule imaginable, and then wondered why nobody trusted him. It's like, oh yeah, look, I'm going to go kill this village full of sand people, and then I'm going to marry somebody that I shouldn't marry because I've devoted myself to a life of chastity. But I'm going to go. I'm going to marry Padme and then put my beef in her taco a few times and pump out a couple kids. Jedi Council isn't going to mind that, right? Oh, of course they did. Um, and of course, Samuel L. Jackson saw right through him the whole time. And the one time that Anakin had a chance to get on you know, Mace Windu's good side. What did he do? He chopped off his arm, and that was really disappointing because Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson said, I read somewhere that he said that he would only come back for the third Star Wars film if his character didn't die like a bitch, and he kind of did. I mean, he got into a bit of a fight with Palpatine, and then he got into a standoff, and then he got double teamed and tossed out a window with Force lightning. That was some bullshit. Yeah, I really didn't like that. But we're back to episode 7. Episode 7 it was a much better improvement. I see like a lot of people complaining about it, and some people actually had the audacity to complain, like replace J.J. Abrams and bring George Lucas back. Like, George Lucas, really? Like, if you look in the comments of my first video, I made the point that George Lucas hasn't made a good movie in like 30 years or something. He kind of helped with the first 3 Indiana Jones films, but then there was Return of the Jedi, which most people agree is terrible. There's episode 1, there's episode 2, there's episode 3, there's Howard the Duck, there's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. George Lucas hasn't really made fantastic movies, and he did really wrong by the prequels. And now people are like, bring George Lucas back. Do you remember what he did? Do you remember the horror that was Jar Jar? Like, do you really want that again? No. Well, leave J.J. Abrams alone. He's doing a good job. Yeah. And so, I bring all this up to prove the point that, I am a fan in some sense. I mean, I obviously know what I'm talking about as far as the movies go. So, I'm not trashing the series. I love the series. I just don't like George Lucas, and I don't like fanboys who get butthurt over nonsensical things and, get this elitist attitude that they're better than everybody else, and that anybody who doesn't know everything about everything from the Star Wars encyclopedia is inferior to them. And, and like the message board I mentioned in the first video and all this crap. And there's a reason I don't go to sci-fi conventions, and that's it. Like, I can't stand... Trekkies are almost as bad, and so I don't go around groups where they're likely to be together. So yeah, I don't mind the series, and I appreciate all of your comments. I really do. I think that you were great. I really appreciate all the feedback. The little, like, dick suckers who decided that they were going to try and troll me, you can save it on this video too, because like the first one, I'm going to put up filters. So you're going to have to submit your comments, and if you're just going to troll me, then don't even bother, because they won't see the light of day if you don't have anything constructive to say. In the meantime, let's all wait for episode 8. I really can't wait. I thought episode 7 ended, in a place that's just going to drive me nuts for the next couple of years. It's like, oh, look, we're going to talk about Luke Skywalker through the whole movie. Who's Luke Skywalker? Does he say anything? No. Does he do anything? No. He turns around and looks at the camera. Like, oh, yeah, you're just grateful that I'm here, aren't you? Yeah, I've got way better things to do. I didn't have to be here. I didn't have to do this. Look at me. Look at my beard. Like, yes, Mark Hamill, we see you. Thank you for at least showing up. So, yeah, I'm going to cut this off because we're running 9 minutes here, and I imagine a lot of you are really tired of my rambling. But, yeah, leave your comments if you want to. It'd be really great if I could make this a normal thing, just talk about Star Wars and whatnot. I get a lot of feedback from you guys. I've been trying to find a niche, a place that I could start a YouTube channel that people actually watch. A lot of my efforts have been in vain. Like, most people don't watch my Let's Play videos. They didn't watch any of my singing videos. They didn't watch any of my ranting videos. But the Star Wars thing, yeah, people will jump right on that. So, yeah, if you guys keep watching, I'll keep making these things. So, yeah, here's hoping. Y'all, see you later.